Hello folks, this is Carrie. What's going on? We are getting ready to go to the city of Nogales Cemetery here in Nogales, Arizona. And this cemetery actually, as you will see, has been around for a long time, and it's also since 2012 full, which means there are no spaces for full body burials. The only thing they have available is they have a columbarium here somewhere, and it is just for cremated remains or cremains and urns. But the crazy thing is, I've been to this cemetery a couple of times. I can't even find a columbarium. This is a panoramic view of Nogales, Arizona, from Congress Street up on the hill where the Santa Cruz County Courthouse is, where I just left with a client of mine. We had court today. So again, this is kind of the panoramic view of Nogales, Arizona. And over here, that highway you see is Interstate 19. Basically over that hill, you go right into Mexico. There's the international border crossing there. And here off to the distance, if you see that ridge with a, looks like a fence, that's exactly what it is. That's the fence that separates Nogales, Arizona from Nogales, Sonora, which is a state in Mexico. So they're twin cities on basically both sides of the border. There's Nogales, Arizona, United States, and then there's Nogales, Sonora, Mexico. And over here on kind of this hill over here looks like some really kind of pricey or expensive homes up on the hill, and I would not be shocked at all if one of those belonged to Mrs. Dunne, and because her family, as we discussed, was pretty wealthy and owned a lot of real estate in southern Arizona, and she built a 5,500 square foot home in Nogales. And like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if it's up there on that little hill. All right, I'm standing at the grave site of Ellen Beatriz Griffin Dunne. And Miss Dunne is, again, one of these arguably most famous people that is located here in the city of Nogales Cemetery. I'm just going to pan around and show you. This is kind of their family plot. The Hollers and the Sandoval's. And again, there's Ellen's grave, and I believe Viola Maltrejean right here. If I remember right through Find a Grave, that might be Ellen's sister. But Ellen, her maiden name was Griffin, and her father and his family were pretty big landowners here in southern Arizona. They owned quite a bit of prime ranch land in Arizona. Arizona's kind of famous for the 5 C's, which is climate, cattle, cotton, citrus, and I always forget the 5th one. Did I say cotton? I can't remember. In any event, I am an attorney, as you guys probably know, and I have a case down here in Nogales. And one day when I was down here and I didn't have, or I had some time actually to kill, no pun intended, I came here. Here's a veteran's grave, Norman Stewart. I came here to the cemetery and looked up Find a Grave and discovered Miss Dunne. And Miss Dunne is famous because she was the ex-wife of Griffin Dunne. Or excuse me, no, that's her son, Griffin Dunne. She was married to Dominick Dunne, who was a writer and a television and a movie producer. Hello. And again, she was the mother of Griffin Dunne, Dominique Dunne, and Alexander Dunne. Dominique Dunne, you guys might remember as the elder daughter in the Poltergeist movie. She was murdered by her psycho boyfriend in 1982, after which both Ellen Dunne and Dominic really got into, her father Dominic, got into victims' rights and victims for homicide, or justice for homicide victims. I believe that's the foundation that Ellen started in Dominique's behalf. So I'm gonna get out of here, folks, because today is the day after. This is, well, it's November 2nd, and forgive my Spanish, but the Dia de los Muertos, which is like the Day of the Dead, I believe was yesterday. I think it's November 1st or October 31st. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's November 1st. So anyway, Nogales, Arizona, being so close literally to the Mexican border, obviously has a lot of Mexican American population and influence. And I think it's Dia de los Muertos is a big deal in Mexican and Mexican American culture. So there's a lot of people here at the cemetery today. First time I came, when I couldn't find Miss Dunne's grave, there was there was nobody here. Very quiet cemetery, but it's also very popular. I've got a couple of really good friends back in Phoenix that are not that they have to be attorneys to be my friends. They just happen to be my friends who are also attorneys, and they've got family members buried here. And one guy in particular, I actually went by his family plot, and we talked about it, and he sent me pictures the last time that he was here. But yeah, people here from Nogales, they're really good people. I think just about everybody I've ever met that was from Nogales, just a good kind of salt of the earth person. So I'm trying to find my way out of the cemetery so I'm not here when they lock the gates. Anyway, getting back to Miss Dunne, again, after her daughter was savagely murdered, strangled by her freaking idiot psycho boyfriend, she really got into justice for homicide victims and remained committed to that for the rest of her days. She and Dominique seemed to be pretty close. All the kids did, really. Griffin Dunne, it's just so funny. I had listened to a podcast, and I'll put a link up to it when I edit this, but I was listening to Gilbert Gottfried's podcast, and he had Griffin Dunne on not too long ago, and I was just really kind of, I shouldn't say shocked, but I was just kind of surprised that he had this Southern Arizona connection, that his mother came from this prominent and loaded family in Southern Arizona, and his dad's kind of a, blue blood, upper crusty type Yankee from, I think he's from Connecticut. So it was interesting to me, and I believe in Miss Dunne's kind of her looking back at her family heritage. She actually had relatives. I think her grandmother or great grandmother might have been actually from Sonora, Mexico, and is buried over across the border in Sonora, in Nogales, Sonora. So anyway, Griffin, you might remember him. Probably his most famous role is as the friend in An American Werewolf in London. He was the guy that got killed, and he would like show up in various stages of decomposition to the main character, who I forget that guy's name. I know he was in a Dr. Pepper commercial to begin his career. But anyway, Griffin Dunne was also, I mean, he's a great actor. He really is, and pretty funny dude. He was also in this terrible Madonna movie called Who's That Girl? And I mean, it was just bad. For some reason it kept coming on back when I first got cable back in the like late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, it was bad. Madonna is just a terrible actress. The movie was just stupid. But I remember Griffin actually, the movie was just panned universally, but Griffin got really good reviews. And he's a good actor and funny, so you should check him out. But again, Ellen moved back. Well, she and Dominic were married in 1954, and I think they were married for about 11 years. And after which Dominic kind of went on this, I don't know, what do they call it, like a journey of self-discovery or something. He was a little bit out there in the 70s, trying to find himself, and whatever. I mean, to each his own, and do what you got to do, or do what is you. So no judgment here. But Dominick Dunne, you may remember, was an author. Really got into the true crime stuff with OJ. He was there at the OJ trial, and I remember when the verdict came, there's like video footage of him with his mouth open. He couldn't believe the verdict that OJ was not guilty in the criminal trial. But he wrote extensively about OJ and just kind of crime, celebrity crime in general. I think he had a TV show there prior to passing away. And I believe Dominick Dunne passed away in, man, I'm going to mess this up, but I want to say it was like 2007, something like that. But anyway, Ellen and Dominic they were a cute couple. There's a picture of them when they got married, or shortly after they were married, in 1954. It looks like at the Stork Club in New York City back in the day, and they make a really cute couple. Ellen was quite fetching when she was a young woman, and like I said, her and her daughter Dominique seemed very close. Unfortunately for Ellen, she suffered from MS, multiple sclerosis, and was wheelchair bound for a lot of the remainder of her life after kind of middle age. I don't know what time what period of time the symptoms got to her where she could no longer walk. But she moved back to southern Arizona on ranch property that her parents or her dad owned, and was passed down to her, and built like a 5,500 square foot mansion somewhere here in Nogales. I'm sure the locals know where that is somewhere. Maybe next time I come down here on this case that I have, I'll figure out where it is and maybe drive up there. So in any event, that's kind of it. Hope you guys like this. I'll leave a couple of links to like the Griffin Dunne podcast episode, and again, hope you liked it. Subscribe. I'm going to try to add as much content as I can here in the upcoming weeks and months. and I'll check with you next time. Bye now.